In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do the needlepoint stitch called the half cross stitch. It is a variation of tent stitch, which is a very common and popular stitch used in needlepoint. Half cross is a type of tent stitch that is great for yarn conservation. So if you don't have a lot of yarn, you can use this stitch. It is also a good stitch for small areas. So if you have a larger shape that you're filling in a color area and you just need to squeeze in a couple stitches on the side, half cross is great for that. Its drawbacks are that it is not particularly even looking compared to other types of tent stitches, and it also doesn't give quite as full coverage on the front or the back of the canvas. So it has its pros and cons, but I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm also going to show you, this is a sample of a continental tent stitch, and this area here is half cross. So in the back, you can really see the big difference. The continental stitch area has full coverage on the back, whereas when you do half cross, you're going to end up with lines coming up on the back of the work and just less volume of yarn on the back, which is why I said it's great for if you don't have a lot of yarn left. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how to do it, but first I'm going to show you a stitch diagram of this stitch. So when you're doing half cross stitch, you come up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then the next row down, you're going to reverse, and the 13, 14, 15, 16. So you start your stitch with the odd number coming up out of the canvas and the even number going back down. So half cross is a little bit different in that you're reversing this as you come down. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate. I'm going to continue on with the one that I was working on here, and starting a new row, I'm going to come down to this lower corner. 1, 2, and then just immediately down from where I just went back into the canvas, coming right down. 3, 4. So you're on the back end of the canvas, yarn is traveling the least possible distance. It is possibly the simplest stitch you could do. Very intuitive feeling, but as you can see, tension plays an important role when you're working in half cross, because if you pull too tight, it becomes a little bit squished, that row, and you can kind of see a little bit of light between the hole or the stitches on the canvas, so you can see to the back. You don't have quite as full a coverage as you do with another tent stitch like continental or basket weave, where you have a bunch of coverage on the back of the work. So once I get to the end of this row, I'm going to reverse and go down the next row by just coming 1 stitch down and then over and to the left. And I'm going to continue heading left now by going top to bottom. So as you can see on the back of the work, I have another row of stitches where the only yarn I'm seeing in the back is these lines. I started this by using a waist knot method. You can see up here, this row is a little bit thicker because it caught my waist knot yarn. And then in order to secure off and end my row, I'm going to have to bury my yarn underneath these stitches. And unlike continental, which has a big plush background like this, when you are burying your yarn in a half cross area, you really have to work and carefully get your yarn up under those stitches to secure at the end of your row. So I'm not going to demonstrate me struggling to get my yarn back there, but it's not quite as easy to bury your yarn at the end of the work. So that is how to do the half cross stitch, and hope you enjoyed and this video was helpful, and happy stitching. Bye bye.